Norway had feuds. Denmark had a king. In one brutal decade, the Danes threw up a chain of perfect circular fortresses, paid a professional warrior class to enforce their will, and forced entire peoples to hand over tribute, all while telling Christian Europe, "We're converted now, so you can't invade us." In Norway, where power lived in scattered chiefs, honor feuds, and the glory of the sail, but Denmark is the opposite. Flat land, rich farms, sitting right next to the Frankish and German empires, meaning easy to rule, easy to tax, and easy to invade. And in the 900s, one family at Jelling decides this isn't going to be a patchwork of jarls anymore. This is going to be a kingdom. Here's the version that actually happened, and it wasn't slow. It was a 3-generation power grab. First, a hard man seizes the top spot. Rivals get pushed out. Blood gets spilled. That part's normal. Then comes Gorm the Old, the first clear king of Denmark, ruling from a center, not from a longship. But it's his son who changes everything. Harald Bluetooth. Harald doesn't just rule, he announces his rule. He carves it in stone, literally. The great Jelling runestone reads, "Harald who won all of Denmark and Norway and made the Danes Christian." That's not a gravestone, that's public propaganda. That's Harald telling every jarl, every farmer, every rival, "This is one kingdom now, under me." And here's the first massive contrast with Norway. In Norway, power is constantly renegotiated, blood feuds, shifting alliances, honor debts. In Denmark, power is declared and then enforced. So how do you actually do that? How do you turn a collection of Viking warlords into subjects of a crown? Harald had 4 tools, and they're brilliant. Tool number 1. Christianization as a weapon. Harald doesn't convert because he suddenly wants to be a monk. He converts because he's looking south. The Holy Roman Empire loves to fix pagan neighbors. Missionaries, then soldiers, then borders moving north. But if Denmark becomes Christian, the empire loses its excuse to invade. At the same time, and this is the genius move, Harald keeps all the pagan prestige imagery. Warriors still respect strength, the old gods still have weight. 2 audiences, 1 throne. The message is, I'm the king the Christians can talk to, and the warriors can follow. He didn't convert to get into heaven. He converted to stay on the throne. Tool number 2. The ring fortresses. Around 970 to 980, Denmark suddenly gets a set of massive, perfectly planned circular fortresses, Trelleborg, Fyrkat, Aggersborg, Nonnebakken, and later Borgring. Same layout, same engineering, same obsessive geometry. All built fast. That's not 5 local chiefs with the same hobby. That's one ruler with a national plan. What do these fortresses say?
1. The king can pull manpower from across the realm, farmers off fields, carpenters off ships, warriors off campaigns. 2. The king expects trouble, and he's ready to move troops. 3. The king wants everyone to see that there is a central power. Rebellion just got expensive. This is royal logistics. This is also royal paranoia. If you're busy fighting the Germans on the southern border, you need the heartland locked down. The fortresses are the king's insurance policy. Only a king who could command a nation could build 5 perfect circles in 10 years. Tool number 3. The king's professionals, the herd. Denmark levels up again with something Norway mostly didn't have. A paid corps of fighters tied to the ruler himself. The herd, Think of them as the king's household army, mix of bodyguards, elite raiders, and tax enforcers. Their loyalty is vertical, not sideways. They don't owe favors to local jarls, they owe everything to the crown. And they don't just fight, they collect. That's how power starts to look like a state. There are men with weapons whose job is to make the king's orders real. This is the monopoly on violence in chainmail.
Tool number 4. Hedeby, the money machine. But fortresses and fighters cost silver. Denmark sits on a geographic gift, Hedeby, a busy, fortified trading town at a land and sea choke point. You can redirect merchants there, make them trade through you, take your cut. That's where the phrase taxing the sea gets its teeth. Even if the formal sound toll comes later, the Viking Age idea is the same. Control the route, control the money. The money feeds the army. So what did Denmark actually do that Norway didn't? It centralized, it standardized, it monetized its geography. Norway's violence is horizontal, between families, between rivals, between equals fighting for honor. Denmark's violence is vertical, from the king downward, enforced by his men. In Norway, you might die because a neighbor's honor was stung. In Denmark, if you died violently, it was more likely because the crown decided you were a problem. That's why Denmark could do things Norway couldn't: demand tribute, protect trade routes, threaten entire regions. This wasn't just sending out bands of opportunistic raiders. This was running, in Viking terms, a state-level protection racket. Pay us, sail safely, enjoy our fortresses, keeping other Vikings off your back. That's why Denmark feels like the organized Viking power in this triangle. Norway is oaths and fjords. Sweden, which we'll see next, will be rivers and trade empires to the east. But Denmark is the one that actually looks like a country.
If you liked seeing the Vikings who built a kingdom instead of just raiding, the Sweden episode is next, and it's wild. They go east, turn rivers into gold, and build something even more audacious than Denmark's fortresses. Hit the like button and consider joining as a member of the Wolf Pack to support the channel. See you in the Swedish world.